Today I'm going to give you a talk through of how we built these wardrobes. We used vinyl wrap doors for this project, and here we are setting up. The carcasses are made from melamine, which we get cut and edge banded, and also now CNC drilled by Chris up in Leeds. There's the plinth ready to go on. There's the first carcass being assembled. That's just showing how I take the carpet out and the grippers, so we've got a stable base for the plinth. We level it with some feet and also some blocks on there. Now there's Johnny putting the back panel on the first unit that he's assembled. He used Conformat screws for the main unit with pre-drilled holes, through holes and edge holes. And then here for the back panel, he's just screwing down. And a new development is we're now getting those pilot holes CNC drilled. For these are called high-low screws, which are good for chipboard. So we don't pre-drill the edge that it goes into, but we pre-drill the face and it guides the screw straight. So another comment on pre-drilling, sorry this is the wrong way round, but that just shows you some of the CNC drilling that we've had set out, all bespoke, based on drawings we output from Sketchup. So those holes were for the draw runners. Now here's me scribing the plinth. An advantage of that ladder plinth arrangement is I can screw the plinth from the back, so there's no through fixings. There's the runners, Movento draw runners. That's just showing a pilot hole for securing the scribe strip there, which would end up under the mounting plate. There it is all going together. This is our method for secret fixing the cabinets. That gets covered by the top box. We also CNC'd a cutout there for a socket that was on the wall, which will end up behind a drawer box, which will be removable. So the cabinets are starting to be levelled, secured to each other. We screw them together with 30mm screws in hidden positions. There you see that's how we hide the bracket. That's the top box going on. There's Johnny just fitting the drawer boxes, which we made in advance. They're made out of 15mm birch ply with 6mm birch ply bases. Now here I am scribing in for the top cover strip there. What I've done is I've pinned that on to temporarily hold it. I've made sure it's parallel with the top of the unit. I've taken a measurement and I've set a scribing gauge there with a little extra packer because I needed the extra size. Set that to the appropriate height so when that is cut it will fit where it should. Now I used to do all these cuts with a rail saw. I've talked about this on Instagram. I swore by it. But it meant bringing up a workbench and it meant kicking out quite a lot of dust, even though I've got the Festool extraction and everything. I've found the dust capture is a bit better with a down-cutting jigsaw, and I'm getting a better finish because the teeth are always pushing down into the finished surface, and any dust that doesn't get captured tends to just push down towards the floor. So that's my preferred method to cut these scribes now, and I'm getting a nice tight joint there against the wall or the ceiling. So here I've already pre-glued and pinned a little 18 by 18mm pine batten to the back of that. Oops, there it goes. Shouldn't have done that. And then I'm screwing up just at the front edge of the carcass, and I'll cover those recessed screws with little white caps. We always go for as seamless of a finish on the internal carcasses as we can, and everything is made and sized bespoke. We do like to make best use of space and build right up to the ceiling. So all of this has been designed with the customer on the first visit using SketchUp software, which, as I've said, we now can use to output CNC ready drawings. This is just one of the upper side panels. Because the height was taller than the available board size in vinyl wrap, we split the side panel and the scribe there just at the line of the upper doors. Now here's me cutting again. This is the very large side panel on the left there. It does look painfully slow now that I watch myself using the jigsaw. That's just me taking care to cut precisely on the line. And I would say on balance it's been quicker to get that perfect cut straight off versus rail saw and other methods. Now here's me just being honest about sometimes mistakes happen. The hinges were drilled 65mm off the edges of the doors, but the carcasses were done at 100mm, which is standard, but we had changed the doors because they're so wide and short it's more stable to have the hinges closer to the top and bottom. So I had to re-drill and adjust, but it's been covered and it's strong and it's fine. So here's the drawer fronts, just drilling for the handles there. Interesting thing, well, it's not very interesting really, but something to know about handles is they're always spaced at 32mm spacings and divisions, multiples thereof. That's by the by. Here are the drawers fitted. Now, I don't know if you heard that, there was a little scrape there. I realised that with the door open, the drawer was just scraping on the door, and that was to do with tweaking the hinges, adjusting the tilt on the door to avoid that, which I subsequently did. We almost exclusively now make all our drawer boxes out of birch ply, and I feel it looks really good with the white. We do a lot of white furniture, is what people seem to ask for. Something customers often say is it makes the room look bigger once it's finished, even though it takes up space. It's very clean and tidy. I always tend to feel that the feel and the usage of the furniture is important, how it feels in use. So soft close hinges, soft close drawer boxes, very clean finish. The customer was certainly very pleased with the project. She seemed quite over the moon really with the change it had made to the room and the storage space she was getting, and she said she'll have us back next year for some wardrobes in the new attic, so that's good for us. Well, thanks for watching, and do comment and do subscribe if you'd like to get more of this sort of content.